All right, welcome back for Domain 6, Security Assessment and Testing. Here we plan what to test, execute tests, collect the right data, analyze results, and formalize it all through audits. Think like a security manager. You define objectives, validate controls, and continuously improve. Let's start with how we design a testing strategy that actually protects what matters. Everything begins with a plan. Testing, auditing, even trust itself. In this first stage, we design and validate our assessment strategy. That means deciding what to test, how to test it, who will perform it, and why it matters to the mission. Imagine buying a used car. You plan to check the engine yourself, review the Carfax report, and bring a trusted mechanic for an expert opinion. Internal, external, and third-party validation all working together. In cybersecurity, we do the same. Plan smart, test smart, validate smart. With our strategy locked in, the next step is getting hands-on and testing whether our controls actually do what we think they do. Now it's time to put the plan into action. Conducting control testing means verifying that our safeguards actually work, not assuming they do. Think of your home Wi-Fi. You try connecting an unknown device, a mini penetration test. Run an antivirus scan, vulnerability assessment, and maybe have a friend attempt a weak password just to be sure. Each test tells a story about exposure, resilience, and improvement. After every test, data starts rolling in logs, metrics, screenshots, and results. The real challenge knowing what's worth keeping. Testing without evidence is like science without data. We collect logs, metrics, and administrative records to prove our security processes work. That includes account change logs, backup verification reports, completion rates for awareness training. At home, you might log who changed the router password, when backups were done, or if everyone finished that online safety course. The goal is traceability, because in the CISSP world, if it isn't documented, it didn't happen. Once you've gathered the facts, the next step is analysis, turning raw numbers into insight and action. So here's where the detective work begins. You take all that test data, vulnerabilities, results, logs, and turn it into something meaningful. You validate what's real, assess impact and likelihood, recommend fixes, and brief decision makers. Imagine running a password test at home. You find two devices still using defaults, fix them, and email your spouse a quick report. That's communication, accountability, and closure, the essence of analysis. Great CISSPs don't just find problems, they translate findings into action. But testing and reporting are only part of the story. We still need to prove to others, objectively, that our systems meet standards. That's where auditing steps in. Audits are the mirror that reflect how well we actually perform. They provide independent assurance. Internal audits check ourselves, while third-party audits verify compliance and build trust. It's just like hiring a home inspector once a year. They check smoke detectors, locks, wiring, and issue a report card. In security, both internal and external audits close the loop on continuous improvement. Okay, now that you've built, tested, measured, and validated, let's see how you handle the same scenarios in CISSP style questions. This will test your CISSP mindset. Before we jump into the quiz, here are a few things to keep in mind. CISSP questions aren't designed to test how many facts you can memorize. They test how you think. You'll often see multiple answers that look correct from a technical point of view, but your goal is to choose the best next step or the option that reflects sound, risk-based judgment. Always approach each question from a risk advisor and managerial perspective. Ask yourself, which choice best supports business objectives while minimizing risk? That's the mindset the exam is built around, and it's what separates someone who knows cybersecurity from someone who can lead it. Let's get started. Question 1. Your company expanded to the cloud. The current test plan only covers on-prem systems. What should you do first? A. Add new cloud pen test immediately. B. Review and update the assessment scope to align with new cloud risk profile. C. Run vulnerability scans across both environments. D. Wait until next quarter's audit. The correct answer is B. Review and update the assessment scope to align with new cloud risk profile. CISSP logic equals alignment and scoping before execution. Don't jump to action without validating coverage first. Question 2. Who is the best person to validate results from a network firewall control test? A. The network engineer who manages the firewall. B. An internal auditor from a separate team. C. A junior admin who configured logging. D. A penetration tester hired by the same team. The correct answer is B. An internal auditor from a separate team. Independence is key. Internal audits or segregated functions ensure objectivity. Question 3. Budget allows only limited testing this quarter. Which system should you prioritize? A. The payment portal handling customer transactions. B. The print server. C. A retired test environment. D. An internal wiki. The correct answer is A. The payment portal handling customer transactions. Question 4. You discover a control passes functional testing but fails under heavy load. What's the best next step? A. Classify it as a false positive. B. Record it as a conditional failure and recommend performance reengineering. C. Ignore it. Availability isn't part of testing. D. Retest later with smaller data sets. The correct answer is B. Record it as a conditional failure and recommend performance reengineering. CISSP evaluates operational effectiveness. A control must perform under realistic stress conditions. Question 5. Which best demonstrates that access reviews are being done effectively? A. An email stating that reviews occur quarterly. B. Policy documents requiring reviews. C. Audit calendar entries. D. Completed review logs showing sample approvals, revocations, and timestamps. The correct answer is D. Completed review logs showing sample approvals, revocations, and timestamps. CISSP expects proof of execution, not just policy intent. Question 6. During evidence review, some backup logs show inconsistent timestamps. What's the most appropriate action? A. Disregard old logs. B. Investigate integrity of the log source and cross-verify with restore test. C. Delete questionable entries. D. Mark the audit as failed. The correct answer is B. Investigate integrity of the log source and cross-verify with restore test. A risk advisor validates and correlates. Never discard data without cause. Question 7. Which report style best communicates results to executive stakeholders? A. A high-level summary emphasizing risk trends, business impact, and remediation progress. B. a CSV of all vulnerabilities. C. Technical logs appended with screenshots. D. The scanner's default PDF output. The correct answer is A. A high-level summary emphasizing risk trends, business impact, and remediation progress. CISSP answers in business language, not tool data. Question 8. Your automated scan reports a medium risk flaw on a disconnected server. What should you do? A. Mark it as not exploitable and close immediately. B. Patch it without review. C. Escalate to management for approval. D. Validate exploitability and document compensating controls before closing. The correct answer is D. Validate exploitability and document compensating controls before closing. Confirm exploitability before closure. This is neither knee-jerk patching nor dismissal. Question 9. An external auditor requests logs from non-regulated test environments. What's the best response? A. Provide all data to show transparency. B. Clarify scope and provide only relevant evidence supporting control objectives. C. Deny the request completely. D. Delete logs after review. The correct answer is B. Clarify the scope and provide only relevant evidence supporting control objectives. CISSP manages scope, transparent but controlled and compliant with need to know. Question 10. Your organization passes all third-party audits, but internal spot checks reveal missed patches. What's the best CISSP style action? A. Report audit success and move on. B. Schedule another external audit. C. Implement a continuous internal monitoring program and update patch KPIs. D. Extend patch deadlines. The correct answer is C. Implement a continuous internal monitoring program and update patch KPIs. CISSP equals proactive assurance. Don't rely solely on point-in-time audits. Improve ongoing governance. Okay, so let's briefly talk about how these questions reflect real CISSP thinking. Each one is designed to test judgment and layered reasoning, not just memorization. Now, will most of the questions on the exam be this simplistic? Absolutely not, but the concepts still apply. The exam often focuses on identifying the best next step or the underlying principle being applied. That's one of CISSP's favorite tricks. And here's the challenge. Many answers will sound technically correct, but only one truly aligns with primary intent, the most appropriate action from a managerial, risk-based perspective. That's what separates a good technician from a true CISSP. Okay, outstanding work completing Domain 6, Security Assessment and Testing. You've learned how to plan, test, analyze, and validate like a true security professional, using real evidence, not assumptions. Remember, testing isn't about finding flaws. It's about building trust through proof. If you're enjoying this series, please like, share, and subscribe. Next up is Domain 7, Security Operations, where we turn theory into 24/7 defense, incident response, monitoring, and resilience in motion. I'll see you then.